Hello and welcome to our What's Up webinar series. I'm Betsy Holt and I am a service delivery manager here at ChargePoint. And one of my favorite things to do is to help station managers use our fantastic software to manage their stations and make the most of them. And today I'm really excited. We're going to be talking about streamlining EV charging for corporate fleets. And I'm so happy that we have with us Adam Hart, who is our Vice President of Segment Sales here at ChargePoint. Adam is a subject matter expert who's going to tell us more about this. So Adam, thanks so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you, Betsy. I'm a longtime ChargePointer, so American by accent, but German by residence. So I think between the two of us, we're going to cover two really important markets, right?
Exactly. I am based here in Los Angeles, California. So we've got it covered, Adam.
Indeed. And I also represent the commercial side. So I think about how we explain value proposition to our customers. And you've got a very different experience that I think resonates with people.
Yes, I specialize in using our software platform and then also helping customers utilize like our support triage. So I can always point people in the right direction, anything ChargePoint. So
absolutely. Yeah. And what I love about the combination of the commercial and the operational is my job's always easier with customers when they have that great experience from ChargePoint. So I think I'm going to do a lot of the talking, but you're going to really be the more valuable Q&A person.
Well, I'm looking forward to it because yes, we do really want to hear from you who have tuned in to be with us here this morning. So, well, it's morning for me, but wherever you are, we're glad to have you. And with that, let's talk about what we're going to go over today. So our agenda. So first, we're just going to talk about why electrify your corporate fleet. Then we're going to talk about charging at home and on the road and at the workplace. And then we're going to just talk about the key benefits of electrification for your fleet. We're going to leave time at the end for Q&A, so please don't be bashful. If you look over on the right of your screen, there is a Q&A tab for you to enter your questions for us. There's also a Docs tab with a little bit more information about what we're discussing today. And with that, we'd love for you to answer this question for us so we can understand where you're coming from. So what is the single biggest challenge you face when managing or planning for a corporate fleet? Is it ensuring employees with take-home EVs can charge at home? Providing charging at the workplace or depot? Is it managing public or en route charging access and payment? Or is it navigating global regulations? Which is your biggest challenge? Okay, we have kind of an interesting spread here. Okay, we still have some answers and responses coming in. Okay, it looks like most folks say that the biggest challenge is depot charging infrastructure. Great. But also, if you have any specific questions about these, please put them in the Q&A and we'll be sure to address all of the concerns that you've come here today with. Great. Thank you so much for answering that for us. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Adam Hart.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Betsy. Yeah, so I'm really enthusiastic about the topic we're going to go through today. I appreciate the poll responses. It was a good spread, and I think that represents the challenges that the corporate fleets face when they're looking at electrification. So we're going to deep dive on a couple of those today. We're going to start with why, as Betsy mentioned. Then we're going to talk about the challenges and opportunities of where drivers charge. And then we're going to talk about the benefits for specific stakeholders. So let's start with the why. Why are corporate fleets electrifying? So we've learned 3 good reasons from our customers. So number one, they're really focused on slashing the total cost of ownership. So there's a financial case to be made for electrification that's not still a forecast, it's turning into a reality, especially in markets that are supporting this from a regulatory or benefits perspective. You really see fleets make this move, sometimes cautiously at first, but then once they get into operationalizing this, it's full on. So we've noted light duty fleets having a 9% lower TCO versus ICE, even after including that cost of charging infrastructure. And the maintenance time, the maintenance cost are significantly reduced, which means the life of your vehicle is better. There's also the fuel cost and savings alone. So really a motivation for fleets that only gets better as we go. The second reason is redefining fleet reliability and uptime. So we mentioned the cost impact of the lower maintenance, but also the operational uptime means you get more benefit out of that. So less maintenance means less downtime. EVs are really simpler to run, and that means that fleets have an easier job keeping their drivers at their jobs. And third, mandates and brand. So especially in Europe, we're looking at places that are banning ICE vehicles in certain zones. You've got the California Advanced Clean Rule that's driving fleet electrification there. And then you've really got this active investor community that wants to see fleets or their corporates meet their goals for sustainability, and fleets are the best place to start. So really 3 great reasons as to why fleets are making this shift to electric vehicles. So there's also challenges. There's why the rationale for why we do this also means that we need to be able to overcome some of these things. So there's a little bit of operational complexity. There's a different type of administration around cost and reimbursement for charging. And then the operational uptime of a fleet now also has to consider the operational uptime of infrastructure, which is not something that ICE vehicles need to deal with. You have to think about these problems also too, where the vehicles charge. So ChargePoint is able to cover for a corporate fleet everywhere that the vehicle would need to charge. That includes at the home, but also at the workplace, on the road, and in the depot, which is one of the main concerns from the poll, which we would kind of call workplace here. So why do we think about each of these specifically when we design our solutions? Because there's a set of challenges and opportunities that are unique to each. In the workplace, fleet managers and their facilities management partners need to think about both employees and guests and employees that have company cars that might need to be treated differently. We have a great solution in this particular segment, which is the ChargePoint CP6K. That's a high output, reliable AC charger that is usable by any electric vehicle. And you manage that with the ChargePoint platform, which gives you full visibility and control into that workplace station use and management. It allows you to set pricing and create access control rules and really design an experience for your employees, your guests, and whoever else needs to use it that you want as a fleet manager. One particular piece here that we'd highlight is our waitlist feature, which is something that really helps facilities managers or fleet managers make this ROI case for infrastructure in the workplace, because it allows you to queue and therefore maximize the actual utilization of the charger when your drivers get an experience that's easy to know when something's available and when they can plug in. Then we've got on the road. So when a driver leaves their workplace and their home, they need to be able to charge somewhere. They need to be able to fuel up fast wherever they need to for their job. And the fleet manager needs to have insight and to be able to control costs so they have a good handle on their operation. So ChargePoint's solution to this is to give your drivers access to not only the 350,000 plus ChargePoint stations that are managed on our backend, but also almost 1 million stations from third-party networks via what we call roaming. So a credential, either an RFID card or an app from ChargePoint that allows the driver to find access and pay for charging where they need to. That means that the fleet manager can actually view what that transaction history looks like, and they're in control of that cost, and they understand the behavior of their drivers and how the charging expense is going to impact their bottom line. So finally, let's talk a bit about home. This is one of those places that we think represents some of the best opportunity, but also the highest challenge for fleets. So asking a driver that drives a company car to actually allow a station into their personal space is something that requires a great amount of care. And ChargePoint has built a set of solutions that helps fleet managers make this a frictionless, seamless process so the driver can enjoy what they get, use the charger at home, and be able to contribute to that lower total cost of ownership for the fleet of the vehicle. So the platform and services that ChargePoint has in Europe that we call the driver management solution also allows the fleet manager to track that driver enrollment when they sign up and manage installations. And we aggregate cost for the charging in public, in the workplace, and the reimbursement of drivers for charging at home so that you get one comprehensive view of what that expense is. ChargePoint also has a range of home chargers that we put into the homes through that installation process that are some of the best and feature rich in the market. It also comes with the ChargePoint app, which allows a driver to see both what they've charged at home and what they've charged at the workplace or in public, so they get a full experience there as well. So let's turn then from talking about the why and where and the specific challenges and opportunities, and think about the benefits for the key stakeholders. And this is a complex environment. So when we think about who needs to be involved in electrification of a fleet, it's not a short list. I wish it were, but I think you guys know, if you're part of a fleet, that you've got a lot of people that need to know, understand, and be prepared for this change. So first of all, we start with a fleet manager. What are they getting from this process and from ChargePoint's solution? So one, they need typically a fully managed deployment solution. That means an end-to-end installation coordination where we can maintain and measure quality with trusted partners, and it gives them a high quality, flexible rollout that will scale. They also need this enterprise-grade driver support. So ChargePoint offers 24/7 multilingual EV support for drivers. And that means that you can have confidence when the driver says, I would like to have something in my home, that they can be serviced and they'll be supported if something were to go wrong. And especially in the public, where there's a lot of different CPOs operating at different quality, that driver can be supported. Third would be easy driver management. So using one platform for the home charging, workplace charging, and on-the-go charging expenses aggregates all of that data for you, which means it's easy to see what's going on. You also get to assign drivers to different charging groups. So like many fleets, if yours has drivers that have one set of benefits versus drivers with another set of benefits, it's adaptable to the type of benefit scheme you want to offer your drivers. And we've covered centralized insights and control. So it gives you real-time insight into where charging is happening and control over those cost allocations and reimbursement. But the fleet manager isn't the only one. Let's think a bit about what the driver gets. So our North Star at ChargePoint has always been the driver experience. So the fleet manager is our key partner or our key customer in this electrification journey. The driver, though, is the key user, and they're the ones that are going to determine potentially how fast a fleet electrifies. Because if they have a good experience at the front end, they tell their colleagues. If they have a bad experience, they tell their colleagues. So we really focus on making sure that what they get is market-leading access, so they can charge wherever they need to in public, simple payments, i.e. just use the ChargePoint app or card, easy installation process, which means they know where they are in the process, when the installer is going to come, and it's professional and hassle-free, automatic reimbursement if they are charging at home, so they're not impacted for having a company car there, and an exceptional driver app and the 24/7 driver support that we talked about. So if the driver's happy and the fleet manager's happy, we still think a bit more. So there are operational teams that are involved in the, say, facilities management of a workplace charger or a depot charger, and they need help as well. Those solutions include things like site readiness assessments, managed deployment that coordinates installation and activation, explanation of and how to use dynamic load management when they need to optimize power usage in a constrained grid, and then also energy monitoring and reporting so that they know what's happening in real time and can actually contribute to those sustainability reports that might have driven the electrification journey in the first place. And all of that needs to be wrapped with a future-ready design so that they can scale that infrastructure. Finally, and last but not least, it would be the procurement teams. So typically when we meet with European fleets, there's an indirect procurement manager that's managing all of the fleet benefit that they give to their employees, vehicles, fuel cards, now charging infrastructure. And they have a set of needs as well. They need to be able to create the right relationship with a supplier like ChargePoint so that they know how it scales. They need to have an easy way or an easy partner to do business with, and they need transparent pricing and this cost visibility that we offer because we put it all in one platform. So when your partner comes to you, like ChargePoint, and says, you can trust that the procurement of this solution means that there's going to be a good experience for both the fleet manager and the driver, we can speak to that in that process. So to wrap up, I think what I found great in my experience so far was learning from the fleet managers and the customers that we have. So that's where the reasons why I came from. It's also learning about where drivers charge and what those challenges and opportunities are that ChargePoint can solve or provide for customers because they need to take into account that entire charging ecosystem. And then the benefits for the stakeholders, which we covered, we'd love to hear from you. If you think that hits where you are in your journey, and if there are other benefits or challenges, I think, Betsy, we're going to open it up for Q&A now.
Yes, thank you so much, Adam. I think I learned a few things. That was very comprehensive. I love that you touched on the way that ChargePoint can support during the deployment process, how ChargePoint can support after everything is set up with our robust support team, 24/7 access to call someone and get assistance. And then, of course, my favorite thing, which is the level of customization that is possible within our software platform. And then the reporting that you can do from that so that you have full visibility and data to show about your corporate fleet.
Definitely.
So let's see what questions folks have. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is a great question. So we have a question, as a fleet manager, am I able to see what vehicles are charged on the website, which I think they mean the ChargePoint station management portal. Is there a notification that could notify me by text when a vehicle is fully charged? So I can take the beginning of this.
Yeah, please.
Yes. In the software portal, you can see in real time the status of the vehicles in your fleet. I don't think right now we could send you a text message about that, but it's very easy to see under the Fleets tab in the ChargePoint station management portal to see exactly what's going on with each of the vehicles. Then we also have fleet specific reports that you can run where you can see every charging session that each of your fleet vehicles did, and then you can also do analytics on those sessions. So we do have all that data just a couple clicks away. Let's see. I have 2 different types of fleets within the organization. Let's see. So this is, I like this question because you can absolutely have multiple fleets within your ChargePoint software. So that works. They are mainly charging in the depot or at home. Okay, and build centrally. Okay. Pardon me, Adam, while I suss this out. Is there a
Yeah,
way
it's a bit of a long one.
It's okay. It's okay. We're here for it.
Yeah.
So, is there a way on the online platform to give specific access to different people? Yes, absolutely. So within the portal, you can add admins, and you can also give different admins different levels of access, different visibility to the system. And I'd be more than happy to help you with that. So yes, so not only can you customize how your stations are programmed and set up, but you can also customize the level of access admins have. You can also set up in the system specific points of contact for support. You can set up a point of contact that's going to receive any financial statements on station revenue and delineate who the right person within your organization is to receive that communication from ChargePoint. So that's a great question.
Yeah, if I could add to that, Betsy, it's a lot like people consider in other access control or control systems it's a roles-based system. So you've got a set of personas of people that might use it. It might be a financial manager, it might be the operational manager of the fleet, it might be a facilities manager, and you can assign them a role, and those roles come typically with the actual set of access rules to the platform and the data that role would need. So if you have a financial manager, then they're going to get access to the financial reporting, and that might not be available to the say the facilities manager who may not need that information.
Exactly. Here's another related question that I love because this is one of my favorite parts of our software. As a fleet manager, is there a way to give drivers the ability to use the ChargePoint mobile app to access the charging stations without giving them access to the entire fleet account? Yes. This is so important. The station management platform is separate from a driver account on the mobile app. Oh, you can't see my phone, but that is separate. So what you would do is drivers would go ahead and download the free ChargePoint mobile app. And then you can actually, in the software portal, create a connection code driver group. And then drivers can actually join that group through their mobile device. And then you as a station manager can also see who the connected drivers are and manage that list to make sure it's current. And what I also love about the driver experience aspect of this is that once a driver is connected through the ChargePoint mobile app, they can also see on their end that they are a connected driver. They can actually see the status that their connection is active. So they have that visibility and ease, and then they're able to just initiate a charging session with just a simple tap with their mobile phone on that station. And then you also get all the data about the usage of those drivers. So it's really helpful in terms of that data gathering of exactly how your drivers are using your stations.
Yeah, I think if I can add to that, Betsy. So I think that's a great explanation. That also from the fleet manager perspective or the workplace perspective, they may have different profiles for their drivers, right? So they may have. There was another question in here about shared vehicle fleets, drivers that maybe use a motor pool vehicle or a vehicle that has different drivers. You may have regular employees who maybe don't get a charging benefit per se, but you want them to have access. And you may have your company car drivers who need the charging to be paid for. So all of those scenarios we can cater for. You can provide, we have a vehicle management system that allows you to make this sort of vehicle-based payment. You can use the app as a driver, as Betsy described, and get a connections invitation to charge at your workplace, but you might still get charged for that if the workplace wants to charge for that. And then the driver of the company car, the fleet manager might decide that all of that payment should come back to them for every session. So it's highly configurable and very flexible and really caters to all the different fleet personas or use cases that fleet managers might need.
I think I would be remiss to not answer this question here about energy management. So this question is, I know there are load management capabilities with ChargePoint. How does that work? And yes, there is a section of the station management portal for energy management where you can actually just enter the settings that you want for your load management. Adam, do you work with energy management yourself?
Tons. Yeah. It's a key feature. So think about the different places that we laid out. So you're charging at work, in a depot, and at home. So all three of those might have different challenges, especially if you get to depot scale or even large workplaces, or even single family homes, you might be constrained. So you need abilities to either manually manage within a set threshold, which you can set on ChargePoint stations or even a group of stations, or to dynamically manage if the capacity on your site is fluctuating. And we have partnerships and integrations to dynamic load management systems that allow you to basically read what's happening on your site or in the home and adjust charging capacity accordingly. So absolutely, that's a topic that we should dive deeper into if we had more time. Yeah.
Well, and we're here for you. For those of you who have questions we didn't get a chance to get to, please go ahead and check out our docs section here. And also, you're welcome to click that dark blue button, Contact Sales, at the top. We are here for you. And if you're looking for more resources, yes, go ahead and click on that Contact Sales button. And please follow us. We are going to have more What's Up webinars for you. Thank you so much for being with us today. And until next time, charge on, everybody.